Hi, I'm Janian. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made a replacement riving knife on my Axminster table saw. But first, let me explain to you what a riving knife actually is and why I'm making a replacement. This is a stock riving knife on my table saw. It's basically just a sheet of metal that's there to stop the wood closing up on the back of the blade and being thrown towards you in what's called a kickback. Now the reason I don't like this one is because it goes above the height of the blade, and that means you can only do cuts where the blade goes all the way through the wood. That became really apparent to me last week when I was making this picture frame, and I was cutting the rebate on the back, and that meant that I had to take the riving knife out, and I had a kickback. What happened was that the wood caught, it tore out this piece, and through the workpiece, past my face into the wall behind me. And that is scary. And that's what really gave me the push to make my own. So the difference between the one I'm going to make and this one is that mine is going to be below the height of the blade, but still have this groove so I can mount the blade guard. So let's get this one out so we can take some measurements off it. I used a piece of scrap hardboard to make a template before cutting any steel. I traced around the original riving knife and cut it out at the bandsaw. I could then fix it in place and mark out the blade height. With that cut, I retraced the guard slot and tested the fit. I was happy with that, so I moved on to stainless steel. This is 2.5mm thick, the same thickness as the original riving knife. I marked it out and drilled holes in the hard to reach parts of the guard slot. These parts are impossible to cut with an angle grinder, but the outside profile was really easy to do. Whoops! Very carefully, I opened up the guard slot and the mounting slot to the holes that I'd already drilled. And filed away any burrs and sharp corners that were left over. Then I added a shallow bevel to the leading edge of the riving knife to guide the wood past it. The guard slot was then finished up with a cut-off wheel and a sanding drum in the dremel. Then it was ready to be mounted and tested. I tried a partial depth cut, and a full depth cut with the blade guard. Both are perfect, so I'm really happy that this simple project is going to keep me much safer when I'm woodworking.